Hi, everyone, and welcome to this presentation, Data Science and the Quality Auditor. I'm Mike Richmond, your host for Exemplar Global's Online Auditor Expo. This session, which is presented by Dr. Milton Krivokuca, the Interim Coordinate Master of Science Quality Assurance Program at California State University, Dominguez Hills. He's a past chair of the ASQ Quality Management Division and 2024's Quality Magazine Professional of the Year. He earned his doctorate degree in business administration and holds 10 certifications. In this presentation, Milt is going to share his perspective on the importance of data science as a key skill set for auditors. So Milt, thanks for joining us here at the Expo.
Okay, thanks, Mike. I appreciate this opportunity to share a little bit of what I've learned in the last couple of years. I've been very much involved with this mysterious world of Quality 4.0 that I hear so much about. I've been involved with several committees. I've done a lot of reading and research, and found that it's taken me in a lot of directions here. And I've shared some of my results of my research with some other groups, the data science groups, the data scientists, and also with some HR areas of quality. So it's really, I really appreciate a chance to share it with the auditors who I think are the real backbone of any successful quality management system. And it's important for a quality auditor, especially the internal quality auditor, to have some idea what's going on here so that you can ask, and I don't want to say intelligent questions, but informative questions to see that your organization, your company is approaching data science, is integrating it and implementing it in an effective way to support your quality management system. I could spend an entire day on this. I could spend an entire 2 days on this topic, but I'm limited to 30 minutes, so I'm going to do a high-level introduction of a quality management system, focusing on applying data science and processes, and just touch on some of the key areas here, enough to so that you can at least ask informed questions and formulate informative results, so you can evaluate how well your organization's quality management system is addressing data science. And it's part of Quality 4.0. And I'll come back to that several times during this presentation. This Venn diagram here is prepared by subject matter experts, professionals. It's been peer reviewed. It's published in several books, journals, conference proceedings. Data science in the center of these areas of an organization. It requires programming skills, math and statistics knowledge, and business intelligence. It's looking pretty complex. We've added some other integrated technologies in here like machine learning, data engineering, and analytics. So how do these support a good quality management system? Well, quality management systems, they address the technical part of an organization, the social part, personal, and managerial. These are the dimensions of Quality 4.0. And by the way, I'm going to be mentioning it several times. I've read dozens of articles on various webinars, on journals, Quality Progress Magazine. I've attended a lot of conference proceedings, and there's always presentations related to Quality 4.0, and they're all over the place. I can't really say I find fault with any of them, but it is such a broad area. It's such a large area here that it's kind of difficult to really put our arms around it and say that we're going to focus on it. So I think being aware of it and looking at it from the perspective of data science is really going to be helpful for the quality auditor. There was one article I do want to emphasize that I found very interesting. I believe it was in Quality Progress last year. And I won't go into a lot of detail on the article, but they mentioned and discussed enabling technologies that are needed to support Quality 4.0. And the references to artificial intelligence, big data, deep learning, machine learning, and data science. Well, I'm not going to explore those in detail. As I said, that's a topic for another class. But to be aware of them and know what they are is really important, I think, for the auditor who's going to be investigating them. Before you really start digging in to see what they're doing in these areas, you have to have a good understanding. So I'm an educator, and I spend most of my time in the classroom, and I like to start with first things first. So when I read this article, my attention was stimulated by what is an enabling technology? And I went to a quick, easy way. I used Wikipedia. I very, very rarely use Wikipedia, but I was looking for basically a layman's definition, something that was universally accepted by both professionals and technicals and everyone across the board. So that's why I use Wikipedia. And they stated enabling technology is an invention or innovation that can be applied to drive radical change in the capabilities of a user or culture. Enabling technologies are characterized by rapid development of subsequent derivative technologies, often in diverse fields. Diverse technologies, derivative technologies. Wow, that required even more investigation. So backing up to where I was the slide before, I feel that AI, big data, deep learning, machine learning are derivative technologies, and data science should be on top as the enabling technology. Just food for thought and information here. That's not the topic of my presentation, but just as an awareness. So I went to data science, and I wanted the definition here. Now this is where I wanted to get technical. I looked into peer-reviewed journal articles and several publications, a couple of books that I have in my library, and I came up with this definition here: data science, an interdisciplinary area of practice and research involving scientific processes, advanced mathematics, computer programming, statistics, data mining, text processing, and then that dreaded term we see in job descriptions and other related notions. This left me with a challenge here. What are other related notions? So again, I had to dig into publications, journals, and books, and I came up with what I feel is my definition of other related notions based on the research that I've conducted. And these other related notions that are so critical to data science include domain knowledge. Domain knowledge is a special form of knowledge that has little to do with data science. Domain knowledge is the knowledge you learn on the job through years of work in any field. Now that's getting right back to us in our basic quality body of knowledge. Knowledge management, that tacit knowledge, that tribal knowledge, the knowledge that we gain that's not published, the knowledge we learn from doing the job, that remains an important part of data science. That is what really makes data science effective. The technical parts, yes, those all have nice equations, computer algorithms. The programmers can provide that information with no problem whatsoever. But it's this domain knowledge on how that's going to be applied is where it comes into being effective to support an organization toward organizational excellence. In looking at application specific, the foundations of data science are all built around the precept of continuous learning. That's mentioned in all of their publications. Data science supports continuous learning. Well, I've been in quality now for 40 years, been a member of ASQ for 30 years. The foundation of quality is continuous improvement. This is going all the way back to Deming and Duran. Why can't we merge them? Continuous learning plus continuous improvement, an integrated approach. Bring them both together. And how are we going to do that? How would that get done? Well, I think it has to start with the quality auditor. The quality auditor, as I said, is the backbone of success for any effective quality management system. Many of the elements of data science are contemporary extensions of the basic QBOC, the one we've been working with it's been relatively unchanged for the last 20 years. Many organizations, in their haste to implement digital transformation, do not apply data science in the most effective and efficient manner. They buy very elaborate software programs They don't turn on all the modules. They don't use all the modules. They really don't understand all the modules that are contained in them. They don't give their programmers good guidance, good information on how to use them. So they've got underutilized resources. They've spent time and money for them, and they're sitting there unused. The contemporary quality auditor needs to have a basic understanding of these concepts and their impact on the quality management system. As I've said before, and I'll continue through this presentation, and I will probably continue as I make other presentations throughout the year, that Quality 4.0 is a topic that receives a large amount of attention. It's looked at from many aspects. The nice part about it is you can take the one that best suits your needs, that best fits into your organization, and use that approach to it. Remember what Deming said about the value of information, putting it into context. The information can only be used once it's placed in context and how it applies to the situation. So that's how I feel the Quality 4 presentations are being used today. An agreement is not in place that exists, but is yet to be clearly defined. We haven't defined a body of knowledge yet for Quality 4.0, QBOC. That's where I started my research. That was my original goal, but after about 2 years, I started to wonder, is it really possible? But data science and data analytics is going to be a major element of whatever that body of knowledge is. It's not going to go away. It's going to remain, and it's only going to continue to become a larger part of it. So here's the issue now, auditors. Without a clear body of knowledge, can an auditor perform an effective quality management system audit? That's your challenge. I think it can be done. I think it can be done. It's going to be a challenge, but having a basic understanding, as I'm trying to convey in this brief introduction I have in this presentation, that you can ask those informed questions and generate a thought process with informed answers is the first step in moving this direction. So what I'd like to do is just throw a couple examples out here at you. And I just picked them because they're the most common terms that we see when we refer to data science. These terms, predictive analytics, supervised learning, and unsupervised learning, are common. We hear them very frequently. So I looked at predictive analytics. And the definition is to foresee future events and situations, thereby help decision makers take advantage of the upcoming opportunities in a timely manner, or prevent, or at least mitigate, the impact of problems that are about to surface. I saw that as an extension, a new paragraph, in our design of experiments, in a statistics section, the quantitative methods of Six Sigma, Green Belt, Black Belt, the quality engineer. Design of experiments needs to be moved out of that laboratory experimentation and have another section written on it related to data science and draw the correlation there. Two terms that come up frequently are supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Supervised learning are problems where exists a target variable. That's a target variable. That sounds like continuous data or discrete data. This target variable, we want to predict or classify data. We know how to handle continuous and discrete data. With a little bit of rewording and a refocus, we can apply our concepts and existing concepts of quality to supervised learning. And then the term unsupervised learning. These are problems where there does not exist a target variable. We want to predict, understand mutual natural groupings and patterns of data. This sounds like special cause and common cause variation. This will help decision makers take advantage of the upcoming opportunities in a timely manner and prevent, or at least mitigate, the problems again. This again sounds like another opportunity for some rewording of our design of experiments to include unsupervised learning. This is a big part of data analytics, as you see, as we're coming up here with unstructured data, textual data, information coming from chat rooms, social media. This all falls in this category where quality can help to send the organization in the right direction. And then we have data analytics, structured data and unstructured data. one of the basic foundations of data science is data analytics. Currently in our body of knowledge, we have structured data. It's categorical, nominal, ordinal, numerical data is interval and ratio. There's nothing in our body of knowledge that addresses textual data. This is a very rapidly emerging and advancing area where we're looking at analyzing multimedia, images, audios, videos, HTML or XML and HTML languages. This offers opportunities for really advancing data science to where it can be effective and incorporated in a quality management system to support organizational excellence. I hope we can audit it into it at some point. I'll move to a couple practical examples here. Predictive analytics might be used to forecast future trends, while descriptive analytics might be used to understand past behaviors. The data science books, the journals, and the articles go into very elaborate discussions about the algorithms that are written in the printouts, the reports that can be generated from them, and really impressive looking scatter diagrams. But does the organization and data scientists understand the differences between predictive and descriptive? Which would they need to do? Which would be the one that would be most appropriate for the situation that they're trying to encounter? This is where the auditor could ask the right questions. And here's an example, getting very practical. Descriptive analytics. When we perform a root cause analysis or conduct a corrective action process, we're at the basis of descriptive analytics. Extending it further by incorporating data science, data analytics into it, and providing the programmer with the appropriate and proper direction as to what we're looking to solve, what we're looking to find out, we could get much stronger and much faster root cause analysis exercises performed and be more effective with it. Predictive analytics is another one. Anyone who's been involved understands the reliability equations in the CRE body of knowledge, Certified Reliability Engineer. These equations are very elaborate. They've been around for decades. But when we add predictive analytics to it, we turn it over to a programmer who can gather additional data and prepare an algorithm, we can get much more precise and much more detailed predictive analytics. We can also apply it for our process performance, our CP and our PP. We've got equations now for determining process capability, performance capability, but adding the element of predictive analytics with big data into that can take us even one step or two steps beyond where we are today. And one other area to look at that's getting a lot of attention is that various visualization data types. When I went back a couple slides ago, I said about unstructured data, and I mentioned that in the unstructured data, there were textual data, multimedia data. Well, a lot of those can be broken into categories like we see: categorical, numerical, time series, geospatial, hierarchical, test, frequency, correlation. The programmer can write an algorithm and have a computer generate these really fairly easily. This is not a real challenge for a good programmer using today's modern programming languages. The key to success is, are we asking the right questions? Are we giving it the right data? Is the data coming out that's something that's actionable? Will it support continuous improvement? Will it support process improvements? Do we need all 8 or 10 categories? Do we only need 1 or 2? This is where quality comes into effect to help them out. In my experience with data programmers, they're very intelligent individuals. They're very proud of the work they do, and they have no problem whatsoever in providing a program to generate all of this data for us and then sit back and hand it over with a big smile and say, here you go. Now, what do we do with it? This is where quality and quality auditing needs to come in to help us bring it under control so we can get back to reality with it. Remember what I said about real world data, that tacit knowledge that's necessary? And then the auditor also can help to clear up the misconceptions about data analytics. And I know I've spoken with a lot of C-suite executives and directors and vice presidents who have a lot of misconceptions about data analytics, and they're sold some real some real impressive software programs, and told about the I'm trying to think of the word I want to use here, the high level capabilities of what these programs can do and what they can provide them. And it's very impressive, but is it in reality what they need? Is it practicable? There's a major misconception that data analytics is solely about handling big data. No, it's more than big data. It's also working with the people doing the work, understanding what we need to take action, what is actionable, what is realistic, what can we afford. Another misconception, data analytics is only for the data scientists and those with advanced technical skills. As we know about the value of cross-functional teams, we need to have the people, and I like to use the term Gemba, the people in the front lines where the work's getting done, where the production's taking place, where the customer interactions are taking place, where the product's being used, to solicit their inputs and have them interact with the data analysis, the data programmers, so that the data is used to our benefit for moving forward. The integration of AI, artificial intelligence, with the human element is another common topic that we see published very frequently about Quality 4.0. That human interaction is going to be around for a while. We're not going to wrap it up here in the very near future. There's also a belief that data analytics always provides clear answers. They're not always clear answers. All right, data analytics can indeed provide powerful insights, but these insights are only as good as the data quality and analysis techniques that are used, and that's where we come in, and especially the auditors. Are they using the right data? Are they gathering it appropriately? Is it consistently? Is it unbiased? And those types of questions. And then another big management misconception is they assume that once the data analytics system's in place, it can run on autopilot without further attention. And data environments are dynamic. They're always changing. Continuous learning is only part of it. Continuous improvement is another one. Just think how many times you get notified of a software update that impacts a system or a program that you're using, and does it always go smoothly? Does it always work to everyone's advantage? Is the integration done without any interruptions? So data science and data analytics, it requires a combination of skills. Data science, computer science, and the big one, you notice I highlighted it and bolded it here, this domain-specific knowledge. And that's where quality comes in. Quality is the voice of reality. We're the voice of objectivity. We don't ask biased questions. We ask open-ended questions. We stimulate thought so that the people doing the work can draw their conclusions with our support, so that they can gather the appropriate data with our support to make these kind of decisions. So where do we go from here? What are the next steps? Well, this Quality 4.0 research continues. I'm sure it's going to continue until someone finally stops and says, hey, wait a minute, we're in Quality 5.0. Quality 4.0 is gone. We've already evolved to 5.0. And once we reach an agreement on that, we can probably sit back and write a QBOC for Quality 4.0, but I don't think that's going to happen here immediately. I do know the CMQOE body of knowledge is under review for updates, and now is the time to address data science. I can say this because last week, I'm a CMQOE, and last week I received a survey. They're beginning their data gathering for updating it. And I answered the survey, and I provided a detailed explanation of how I thought data science should be integrated into several areas of the body of knowledge. And I gave them my name and connection. If they wanted to ask me for additional information, I'd be happy to share it with them. I think the CQA body of knowledge needs to include some of these references to data science when its body of knowledge is updated. I don't know how soon that's going to occur. I am a CQA, but I don't remember when I last completed a survey update for them. But it is important for not only the quality auditors, but any of us who are in a quality profession or quality position in an organization to have a basic understanding of what data science is And I think the quality auditor, you're the one that's going to drive the change. You're the one that's going to make things happen and see that the quality management system continues to evolve, support continuous improvement, and keep us advancing and moving forward. So if you have more questions, and I'd like to share any of your thoughts, ideas, I'm open to them. I said I've made similar presentations several times, and I've had attendees contact me, and I've engaged in discussions and conversations. We've shared thoughts and ideas, and it's helped me move forward with my research. Here's a quick reference list of the books that I've used, the publications for this presentation. That's only about a third of the ones I have in my library that I refer to them frequently, and they've all been published after 2018 because I kind of used that as a cutoff point. Anything before that is already getting outdated. So I want to thank you for your time.
Well, thank you, Milton Krivokuca, for that excellent presentation. Data science and the auditing function, really, really good topic, really good skill that our audience should develop. So thanks for doing that presentation, Milt. So for those of you that are watching this pre-recorded session, if you have questions, Milt gave you his email a couple of slides back, so you can go back and write Milt directly, or you can write us at info@exemplarglobal.org, and we'll get your feedback over to Milt if you have questions, so feel free to do that. Before we close the session, I want to remind you that we have a lot of other great presentations here at the Expo, including a live session that we're doing at the end of our event. So keep your eye on your email for information about how to register for that. And of course, we encourage you to get your CPD for this session and our other sessions. So you can check out how to do that here on the Expo homepage. So thanks again for joining us. Milt, thanks again for a great presentation.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And we'll see you all at the next session here at the Expo. So long.